So, how to use all this information? Let me repeat. Okay, what do I do when I start analyzing a horoscope? I quickly zoom over the horoscope, and I often even don't look whether it's too many cardinal, too many fixed, only if it really strikes you too much. Like if you see 4 or 5, 6 planets in a cardinal sign, or 5 or 6 planets in, masculine sign. I often look if first of all, I often really look if there are 2 more masculine planets than feminine, more masculine energy than feminine. So you can advise the person, this person will be more active, more dynamic, more initiative, seeing who will take more the more leading figure and who will take the more, gentle figure, lead in the relationship, more the feminine qualities, because sometimes they might be reversed. The man might have the feminine qualities, so he has to, he might attract a woman who is more masculine so she can lead the relationship. Otherwise, 2 feminine forces, they're going to sit there and knit all day, Anyway, so I usually, if it stands out in particular too much, if you see too much masculine or too much feminine, you give advice then, and you see that there's some disbalance to some extreme, or too much fixity, such people will be so hard to change their mind about something, but so loyal in relationships. So too much cardinality, advise these people, if they're in love with someone cardinal and they want to make a relationship work, well, advise them to change, to do a lot of new things together. Otherwise, this cardinal person will get bored, or to go travel quite often when things get difficult, All right. Or if someone has a lot of dual signs, a lot of planets in the dual signs, say in Gemini, in Sagittarius, in Pisces, advise these people like, oh, this person is a bit dual. Doesn't mean a liar, never, but such people, if things get too hard, they might try to get the easy way out, but they'll try to accommodate you, But often there has to be a strong impact, too many things of something for you to, you spot it immediately and it makes impression. Oftentimes I just check at the female male planets and move onward, and then immediately I go to Venus, to check Venus. Is Venus with some planets? What sign is Venus in? Is Venus with the cruel planets, which make things more complicated, with Saturn, with Mars, each planet in a different way makes things more complicated. Or Venus with Rahu, with Ketu, the karmic planets. We talked about them. I have specific videos that I put connection in. You can watch them over and over to get a feeling, or you can watch the charts of people with such position to get the feeling of such people. But, these are the karmic positions, Venus with Rahu. So they'll be attracted to people like, who respond to this kind of qualities. So a man who has Venus with Saturn and Mars, or Venus with Sun and Mars, like some of the difficult planets in Rahu, women who are super easygoing, women who are very uncomplicated, women who are very, positive might not be, there might be no so chemistry there that happens, A man with Venus, with Saturn and Mars, he would like more tortured soul, and more fiery, angry, more arguments, or more kind of someone who gives them the cold shoulder, some kind of more complicated. Or such women with such positions will be more complicated in relationships. They'll have more pained experiences. With the easy planets, Venus with Mercury, for example, and Jupiter, they like things to be more light, more breezy, more friendly, more easygoing in relationships, smooth. They would attract such more bright partners, more easygoing partners. But at the same time, remember, we check Venus, we check then the planet with the smallest degree, because it also indicates partners, and we check any planets in the 7th house. Or aspecting the 7th house, I forgot to say in the video that there is a planetary aspect table. If there is no planet in the 7th house, you can check the sign of the 7th house, so you can check if the 7th house cusp, there is like a Bhava cusp planet. Bhava means in ancient Vedic house cusp. Bhava means a house. You can check if the 7th house has a big aspect from another planet, and you can apply the quality of this planet to the 7th house. For example, the highest number of aspect is 60 points. Anything above 40 points, if a planet aspects the 7th house cusp above 40 points, this planet strongly affects the 7th house cusp. And take the planet with the highest degree. If you see no planets in the 7th, go to the Baba cusp aspect, which means aspects to the house cusp, and see which planet affects it from another place in the horoscope. Strong is the 7th house, and it will give you some idea and description of the partner, of the qualities of the partner. Say if it's the sun to 50 degrees, the strongest planet which accepts it, aspects the 7th house cusp, then read the qualities of the sun and tell to your client or to yourself or whatever that these are the qualities you most strongly attract. But also check the sign in the 7th house cusp and any planets there. And the planet with the soul, check Venus, check the 7th house, planets in it or aspects or the sign on the 7th house cusp, and check the planet with the smallest degree. But now you see you might have very mixed information. Say your Venus might be with Mars. In the 7th house you might have Saturn. And the planet with the smallest degree might be the Sun. So, whoa, which one of those, But we're multi-layered humans, Sometimes people attract relationships through their 7th house, sometimes through their Venus, sometimes qualities of Venus or planet with Venus, sometimes through the qualities of the planet with the smallest degrees. That's why not all our relationships are the same. But sometimes the planets will be the same, and you can help a person find what is the best partner for them, what kind of partner. You should check which planet of those is in the best dignity. Say your Venus is in Virgo. That's a Venus in a difficult dignity, Okay, so, the dignity planet, check there. Check the dignities. If it's plus or minus, I don't know how I've indicated them. The dignity table. If you have Jupiter as the planet with the smallest degree at the same time, say your Venus is in Virgo, but your Jupiter is in Leo, where Jupiter is strong. Okay, so you can advise for your customer or client or yourself to look for a partner who expresses more the Jupiterian qualities of giving, of being like a teacher to you, of being knowledgeable, wise, a bit more spiritual as well, with big ideals and goals somehow in life. And then check, for example, you might have in the 7th house Saturn, which is in Libra. And so Saturn is really strong in Libra. It has many pluses there, like it has 3 pluses, very strong. It's stronger than Jupiter in Leo. So you basically, you're best to advise the person to look for a partner with whether Venus, Saturn, or Jupiter with the best dignity of this planet. Whichever one, because you have the planet in the 7th house, or the planet aspecting closes the 7th house. Anything above 40 points is very good. The planet with the smallest degree, which shows partner, and Venus, which shows relationship and partnerships. So if you have if these 3 planets are different, oftentimes 2 of the planets will be the same. Say the planet in the 7th house might be Mars, but it might also be the planet with the smallest degree, So then it's easier. Then the person will often attract very similar relationships. And sometimes it might be Venus in the 7th house, which is the planet with the smallest degree, and is the planet of relationships. So then it's very easy. All the qualities of Venus, the sign of Venus, it becomes, it describes a partner. But often they will be different, so go check the dignities and find out which is the planet with the best dignity, and advise this person to look for relationships which, describe the qualities of this planet. And also you can look at the sign of this planet and describe the qualities of this sign. And the positive qualities, advise a person to look for the positive qualities of this planet. And often the happiest relationship for this person will come for the planet with the best quality, whether it's the planet in the 7th, the planet in, the Venus with Venus, or the planet with the smallest degree. But, sometimes you might have, example, if your Venus is in the best dignity, say Venus is in Pisces, where it's really strong, but Venus is with Saturn. Remember that some planets are cruel, they hurt, they can really hurt. Like the cruelest one is Saturn, Rahu, and then comes Ketu and Mars. The most cruel is Rahu, then Rahu with Saturn together, most cruel. Then it's Ketu, and then it's Mars, in this order. So if Venus might be in a great sign, but is with a difficult planet, then this person will, should look for such qualities in the partner, but they'll be modified by the difficult planet somehow. So don't forget to mention the modification if Venus is with another planet, or you can even apply the same principle to the planet with the smallest degree, the same principle that we apply to Venus. For example, if your planet with the smallest degree is Jupiter and Saturn is next to Jupiter, well, the partner that you're looking for will have Jupiter qualities, but Saturn will modify those. It will tone them down. It will make them more dependable, more serious, more strict, more, like a strict teacher, thou shalt not. I know it sounds very complicated right now, but honestly, believe me, just remember this. You open a chart, check more masculine, more feminine planets, like more fire, more some of the elements, if it's predominant, and say a few words about that. Then check Venus. Is Venus with any planets? Is Venus aspected opposite side or in the sign which is with any planets? Describe these planets to the person. Often this will be a very common experience for them in all their relationships, the qualities of this planet. So if there is no planet with Venus or opposite it, describe the sign of Venus. And the person will strongly identify. If it's a man, he would like such women. If it's a woman, she would definitely, her relationships will have such color. Then check immediately after that planets in the 7th house. Describe the qualities of this planet in the 7th house. It would definitely, these people would say, wow, all my relationships, or like every second relationship of mine has such qualities. Say you have Mercury in the 7th house. Oh, fun people, youthful, younger looking, more communicative. Or you have Pluto, oh, intense, deep. Immediately it gives you nuances about the relationships. And then check the planet with the smallest degree. I often leave it for the end. And check which of those planets, if there is anything in the 7th house, or the planet which aspects the 7th the strongest, or Venus in sign, or the planet with the smallest degree, which has the best dignity. Kind of direct the person in that direction, to the planet with best dignity, because usually what it means for a planet to be in a good sign with good dignity, it means to you find the dignity by the sign. What sign is the planet in? For example, Venus is weak in Cancer and in Leo, but Venus is very strong in say in Libra and in Taurus. It means that the planet, when it's in good dignity, has more ability to do good. When it's in a weak sign, it has it's like it doesn't have so much power, So this is the way you can judge things. And yeah, I think I've given you enough material to think over for a couple of weeks, to go over it, to go over quite a few charts and start making up stories. But things need to settle down. It needs to settle maybe for a few weeks before you really understand the energy of each planet. Don't feel overwhelmed right now, because I've given you so much new information. If you've been in astrology already, it's easier for you. But don't feel overwhelmed, because it took me 3 years before these things started crystallizing in my head. Some people are much faster than me. But it's once you sleep on it over a few months or a few weeks, things start, like when you remember the qualities of each planet, things just start, and of each sign, things just start popping out at you. You just see it. You don't even have to think. Initially, you have to think. You really learn it by heart. Once you learn it by heart, it's almost like intuition takes over. Okay, till now, this was the first part, the first big group of lessons astrologically, seeing what kind of energy the person has, seeing what kind of relationship they're attracted to, what kind of modalities they have less, what kind of, analyzing the 7th house of relationship, Venus, the planet of relationship, the planet with the smallest degree, But in the next part, we're going to talk about something really important, whether a person can do relationships at all, whether you should run away from such a person or stay, or whether you should try making it at all with someone. If someone is at all dating material, that's if you remember anything from my lessons, this will be the material that I give you next, because it will be the most important. Thank you.